All right, so yeah, every ace, every suited king. You said king seven, king eight, which pretty close.
Right below, yeah.
Queen suited queens. I knew you were a bit off.
Oh, that's wide, yeah.
I mean the queen six, queen seven. Like you're not shoving anyways. Uh, but yeah, pretty good.
Cool.
Pretty spot on. So what hands would we just raise here?
So, um, we're thinking of like a polarized range, right?
Yeah,
Um, so like trying to establish what a good threshold for chip EV here is to
it's
raise.
it's pretty like just fucking guesswork. A easy
Okay.
thing we could do is move your mouse like down and to the left a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, more downer. You're gonna look for the hero range with zero min EV. It's like a little bar you could type in. It's right below.
Oh, here.
Yeah, hit the up arrow like a few times. There we go.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So like anything less than 30 chips.
Yeah, I mean that's like a nice arbitrary way to do it, or anything less than 40, anything less than 50.
Okay, I see.
Trying to master that is kind of like getting into the weeds when we're just like learning this concept.
Right.
So, like, don't worry about it until we. There's another level to this. Like, the higher level is dealing with bust probability and then looking at your raising range and making sure it's not exploitable versus jams, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
get into that at a later point.
Okay. So like are we able to say generally like we're raise folding like the bottom 10% and then raise calling off the top 10% or 8% or 5% or something like that?
Yeah, that might be like a decent generality. Yeah, I kind of like that as a general rule. It's not
Okay.
perfect, but it's a nice general rule. I'm not going to find a different word. I suck at finding words. Um, so yeah, like all these would be pretty cool. Like the king nine, queen nine, jack nine, 10-9.
Mm-hmm.
So those would all be kind of good.
Okay.
So we'll do a few more and then we'll add like another layer of complexity to this. There's layers upon layers, Cole. Never ends.
It's like an onion. So when
Yes.
we're raising here, are we talking about just min raising?
Min or 500 or 450 or some.
Okay, it's a standard raise pretty much
Yeah.
then. Okay, cool. All right, back to the hands.
Yeah. The poker hands.
That okay. I don't know what kind of hand. Maybe I played. Oh, I probably tried to play a satellite or something.
Yeah, just skip this hand.
This is definitely a shove.
World class shove. If you do it. I don't
Right.
think you have the heart. So do you think you can implement the race fold here with any
Uh,
hand? Obviously, we're gonna do it with seven deuce, but besides seven deuce,
can I implement the raise fold here?
yeah,
Um, I mean, there's three shorter stacks after me, so I don't see why not. It's trickier because I'm in first position, which means I'm more likely to find myself in a tricky spot. But
yeah. What happens if you raise and let's say, you don't have seven deuce and someone shoves on you, you know? So let's say you raised ace eight off or something. No, you would
hmm,
probably shove that. Let's say you raise like ace deuce off, you get ripped on. What do you do?
it depends on who rips on me.
Say
Um,
button shoves.
the button shoves on me. I'm folding.
Okay. I think you'd be committed to call. Actually,
Ooh. Oh, I've only got four big blinds.
you got seven.
Oh, seven. Yeah,
I
I can't do math. Sorry.
Yeah, math is tricky. Don't
Uh,
what do you don't you teach math or something? What
I,
what what do you teach?
this is off the record completely right now. I taught fifth grade math
Oh, okay.
uh, a couple years ago. Yeah.
All right, cool. Um, yeah, I wasn't like I was just interested. Just wanted to remember what you taught. We should talk math. I'm interested how you taught kids math.
Okay.
Because it seems like fifth grade is like where you get to a lot of abstract concepts that
All fractions, man.
the kids hate the fractions.
Love fractions.
Anyways, yeah, you only have the 7 big blinds, so perhaps you would be committed.
Right.
Um,
So does that mean there's no raise fold here if a bigger stack comes over the top?
I mean, it depends on your hand. I mean, arguably you could, but there comes a point when you're too low. And I'm going to use like an extreme example to highlight this. So, imagine if you had 3 big blinds. Do you think we could implement the raise fold here?
Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, eventually you reach like a point where it's just you're way too short. And this
Right.
is probably the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't really implement the raise fold here. So this part is pretty straightforward. What do you think you could shove though?
What could I shove in this spot?
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is the last time I'm going to test you on shoves if you get this one right.
Okay.
So lots
Let
of
me-
pressure.
Let me cover up this over here so I can really use my brain. Um, think about this. 8 big blinds, 7 big blinds on the spot on. First position.
7.75 big blinds.
All right.
Just to confuse you more.
I have to weight that 0.75.
Actually, I'm wrong. It's like 7.3 big blinds.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm fucking with you. I shouldn't do that as a teacher.
It's all right. I enjoy it, actually. This is what I do to my students. All right, 7.3 big blinds at first position. I'm going to shove ace 5 suited, ace 8 suited plus, ace 9, ace 10 offsuit, king queen offsuit. I'm shoving.
What was
King.
the aces again? I'm sorry.
You think all aces, every ace?
No, what did you say for aces?
Oh, ace 5 suited, and then ace 8 suited plus. Ace, what did I say? Ace 9 offsuit. Ace 9 offsuit is not a shove here. Ace 10 offsuit is a shove, I think. King, I would shove king jack suited. King queen offsuit, I would also shove. Queen. This is a tricky spot. Queen 10 suited? How's that sound? Probably queen jack suited. I'm not shoving an offsuit queen here. And then
Pairs?
5s or 6s plus.
Okay, you're pretty close. I think you're a few percentage points off. So options, view hand details, paste, put in the Russian program.
The Russian program?
Yeah, ICMizer is made by Russians.
Is it?
Yeah. Teaching you all these things. Be a worldly poker player. Alright. Calculate the Nash equilibrium. Which is made by John Nash. Played by Russell Crowe. Beautiful mind. More fun facts. That hero range thing is fucking shit up here.
Oops. So let's just put 0, right?
Yeah, then hit the down arrow so it works. You gotta hit 0 and then press the down arrow. Oh, that works. Just works like that. Yep, so suited aces, pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty on with those.
Missed a couple.
King 10 suited, it's a pretty big miss by you.
Oh yeah. What I think I said king jack suited. That was bottom of my range.
Yeah, Queen 10 suited, decent miss. I mean, not that far off. Jack 10 suited is not really a big miss, small miss. 4s. I don't know if 5s were in your jamming range. I don't remember. But 4 should be in there.
Okay.
And like ace 9 off is actually a shove here. I would have missed that one as well.
Oh.
And king jack off is a shove too.
Okay.
So yeah, you could probably pass on like ace 3 suited, king 9 suited. But yeah, you got close enough where I don't have to ask you again. Like, you're pretty damn close.
Cool.
I mean, you want to get to the point where you master this, but yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Cool.
The jack do. Alright. Let's skip this hand. We want to find some potential race fold hands now. Too short there. You're always so short. You need to work on getting more chips.
Yes, I should do that.
Nope.
And what are the blinds? So that's 9 big blinds there.
Okay. Is
Is
this a potential spot?
Let's see. No, because then there's nobody shorter than me.
There is nobody shorter than you. An interesting like trick of the game. I don't know if it. What sites do you play on again?
Poker Stars.
So interesting thing. Definitely a big thing on mid stakes on stars, high stakes on stars. The UTG steal with a short stack
Mm-hmm.
is very profitable. Makes a lot of money.
Okay.
Maybe not so much at 9 big blinds, it's cutting a bit thin, but it's a bit like you said, where everyone puts you on a pretty strong hand, so when you steal off that stack, it works pretty damn well.
Okay.
So, something you can try out and see if it works in your games, and if it does, I recommend doing that.
Okay.
What hands do you think make sense to raise fold here? What's like the bottom of the shove range, basically?
In this spot,
Yeah.
like
I'm out of water. Fuck.
if you can run and get some, that's cool.
No, go ahead.
Like ace, like ace 4, ace 5, ace 6 suited. Ace, like ace 8, ace 9 offsuit.
Spot on, Cole. Nailing it.
Sweet.
And those are good hands too, because they got that ace blocker for stealing.
Right.
And if big blind calls, they play pretty good. It's kind of nice to have those hands. So
Yeah.
that will be like the next wrinkle we talk about. Like, sometime there's like post flop factors and like blockers that we need to like talk about. We generally want to like raise fold those more than the other hands. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Yeah, you can just skip this one. It's pretty similar. Oh, you're tilting me by not having chips. Ever.
This is representative of my entire poker career. Here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep, next time. Too short.
so we're looking for more big blinds then.
Yeah, like general rule of thumb is you generally don't want to raise fold with less than 10 big blinds.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
You got 11 bigs. You're killing it. Yeah, so what hands do you think make sense to go into the raise fold range here?
I mean, we're wider here, so there's the smaller suited aces like right here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like ace deuce, ace 3, ace 4, ace.
Mm-hmm.
ace five, and then we're shoving wider unsuited aces also, I think. So probably ace seven, ace eight, ace nine offsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then with the kings, we've got. I mean, we're down here. Here we're like what, king six or king seven suited shoving. So like king six, king seven, king eight, king nine, maybe king nine suited. I would throw in there as a raise fold.
King nine kills it on a jam here, I think. No, you might be right actually. You're right.
Right, is it like right in the middle where we
No, you're
shove
right.
it?
You're right, and I'm wrong.
Um, and then offsuited king. Well, like king ten offsuit.
All right, pet peeve of mine: take off your charger because it just diminishes the utility when you're at like 98%. That's
Take it
bad.
off.
Yeah, it's bad for your computer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I do that. I just never do it.
I looked at it like 5 times. It didn't say anything, so I figured I should say it. So I stopped thinking about it.
Free tip from Daryl Chase.
But yeah, you're pretty spot on, and it's basically the same practice of thinking about, oh, what's the bottom of my range here, you know.
Hmm.
All right, so we can take this a bit of a higher level. So sometimes you actually want to raise fold the hands that aren't even in your shoving range. You know, like king deuce suited, or 7-6 suited, 5-4 suited, da 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 da. You know.
Right.
So that would go down to, reading the table, understanding your opponents. Do you use the HUD? I don't remember. Are you familiar with the HUD? Are you good with the HUD? What's the deal
I
with
use
it?
yeah, I use one.
Okay, and is it that ugly HUD that we've seen, or do you have a different one?
Yeah, yeah, it's the butt ugly one that we've seen.
Oh man,
You
that's not good.
you want to clean it up for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you this HUD, and it's gonna take you like 2 years to download.
Oh, that's right.
So download that, and let me know when it's done. Oh, we're moving quick.
Yeah.
Go China. Alright. So go to your PT4. The main window. Correct. Hit the HUD button on the top. HUD profiles. Hit profile at the top, that profile button. A little bit to the left of your mouse.
Wait.
A little bit upper. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, that's
hit the cache default button.
see.
Yeah, just go to tournament default. I don't even think you have to do that step, but whatever.
Okay.
Hit options. Hit import profile. You'll find this under your downloads.
Okay.
Yep, that one. Open. Give it a cool name. Judging you on the coolness.
Go ahead.
It's lame. Alright, hit OK.
Just say China rocks. There we go.
There you go. You spelled China wrong, but okay.
Did I? Oh damn.
Alright, hit apply, then hit OK. Super disappointed.
I'll rename it later. Yeah, I can't stand that.
Alright, you don't ever see the name. It's not important at all. Alright, so hit show HUD.
Sometimes this takes a second.
I'm
Sometimes
just-
I gotta click off and then click on.
computer hacks.
Computer needs coffee.
You're making the infinity symbol with your mouse too. That helps.
It does.
refrozen. Is that the deal?
I think so.
So I'm gonna use the bathroom. Try that again. When the HUD comes on, there's gonna be like this poker tracker poker chip, and then it
Okay.
says choose profile and pick that Shein rocks one.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right.
You did not find.
I had to restart Poker Tracker.
I see.
Give me just a second.
Do, 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 do.
Every time your students do something stupid like this, you should have the Jeopardy music in the background that you can play for them.
It's not stupid. Like Poker Tracker 4 and Hold'em Manager just does this all the time. I
Yeah.
have like so much hours wasted through these programs just stalling, not working
Yeah.
properly.
I mean, I've got like 6 programs running at the same time right now. So
Probably could have learned Chinese with the amount of hours wasted. Is Chinese a hard language to learn? As hard as like it's.
the actual grammar is really, really simple and so much easier than English. There's no like plural is really easy. Like you just add one sound to each word. Um, verb tenses don't exist. So
Hit that
really-
chip in the middle.
there we go.
I don't know
And-
what a verb tense is. Chi and Rock said. Yep. See, mine's is prettier. Which isn't
That's
saying much, but just this one guy coach has this really cool looking HUD. Super jealous. My mind is super tangential today. I'm trying and relax. Alright. So let me explain the stats. So the red one, right at the start, is number of hands.
Okay.
The one right next to it, the V25.
Uh huh.
Gonna stop myself from making a vagina joke. Is VPIP.
Uh huh.
P is PFR.
Uh huh.
And so these next three ones are, put your mouse over it, and it will tell you. So that's raise first in an early position. So this is how often they raise when it folds to them and they're in early position.
Okay.
The next one is for middle position. The next one is for late position.
Oh, so it tells you if your opponents are positionally aware.
Yes, and sometimes people like to steal from early position. Like, for example, this guy's raising to your right. Will Sabbath is raising 38% from early position and only 17 from late position.
Okay. So,
So-
it's donk.
There's a lot of guys who like to do this. A lot of people are aware of like EP steals. Maybe it's just catching hands, but it helps when you have a bigger sample.
Right.
PFR is like 2007 type shit. Don't
Yeah.
use. The only reason I keep PFR is I like to see the difference between their VPIP and PFR, the gap.
Uh-huh.
So that way I know if they're like passive or aggressive or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so bottom line. The first one, that is 3-bet versus a steal. which means someone raises in late position. How often does he 3-bet those guys?
Okay.
Which I care about more. That one's obviously 3-bet.
Right.
This one is fold to 3-bet after they raise. The next one is call 3-bet. And the next one is 4-bet versus a 3-bet, which I almost never use. So it's just a waste of space. C-bet, fold to C-bet. This is a big one. Fold blind to steal.
Okay.
You're going to want to attack people when that number is high.
Yeah.
And the next one is how often they call a 2-bet, which is basically just an open. They call it a 2-bet, which is annoying. But so this is how often when someone raises, they just call. Some people like to call a lot. Some people don't like to call a lot. It's important to know the difference.
Cool.
I hardly ever use it, but it's good.
Okay.
And then there's the pop-up. So you could click the pop-up. So just click on the HUD, left click. Not there, anywhere but there.
Click on this, right?
Don't click that, anywhere but there.
There we go.
So these are all the HUD pop-up stats, and you click pre-flop for pre-flop stats, flop for flop stats, and we'll get deeper into that later. I don't want to tangent too much.
Okay.
Although I've basically spent the whole hour doing that. Alright, go on. Next sound.
Oops.
Next sound. I want a hand where you have more fucking chips. I don't know what's so hard to get chips.
Where am I at? That's 10.5 big blinds. Still not good enough.
Oh, we've seen all these hands. Skip ahead.
Oh, you're right.
Why is your ugly HUD back? Click the chip again.
So I need to make it the active profile.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. There should be good now.
Right.
250. This is, oh, haven't we already seen this one?
Yeah, that was the last spot we talked about, I think. Alright, button spot. You got chips. Cool. Perfect.
Alright.
So, folds around to you.
Mm-hmm.
What hands did you just raise here?
Should I just raise?
Yeah.
Definitely the top of my range.
Mm-hmm.
I think hands that I'm definitely calling off with, right?
Yeah, what are those hands? What are those hands you could feel really happy just to like raise, call it off?
I'd be happy to do it with like nines in this spot probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like nines, tens, jacks, queens, kings, aces, ace, king suited, ace, queen suited, ace, ace, queen, ace, king, maybe ace, jack suited. I think all those I'd be fine with.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think some people can argue like eights and ace jack off, but that's pretty good. It's a good range.
Are we thinking of the bottom of our range also?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely, because it's profitable. Oh, so, I mean, I'm shoving. I gotta think for a minute. I can shove really wide here. So, the low suited aces, ace two, ace three, ace four. Offsuit aces, ace deuce to like ace six.
Alright, so let's paste these hands, because those hands make you lots of money in the spot.
When I shove them?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
You get all the money. Show that. I mean, plus they're not, like, fucking calling that wide.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, small blinds calling really tight here.
Yep. Alright, whatever. We'll just run it like this. Alright. So yeah, like, almost the big blind with ace deuce off, and over a big blind with ace deuce suited.
Say that again?
You're making, like, almost a big blind with ace deuce off.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so just use that hero range thingy and just take it to like 60 or whatever.
Okay, so that all of the aces should be shoves.
Yeah, even like all the suited kings, you probably just rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for simplicity, I would just say like rip all suited kings, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and then all the hands like that. So yeah, these late position spots change quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You could also tighten up their ranges, and that changes the spot too. Like if you want to jam wider than the Nash, right? Give these
Right.
guys like, 4 or 5% tighter, both of them.
Okay. So these 22 are
Use power push, not Slansky, Chubakov.
sorry.
It's all good. Nobody, I've. It's not a big deal. Take it to like 18. Okay. Yep.
There's the X, or do I have to save?
You could click off, don't hit save, as long as you don't hit save. And then take big blind to like 29. I now how to calculate. Yeah, so that changes quite a bit the hands you want to put into your raise fold range, right?
Right. Oh man,
Yeah.
that
So,
makes this a really profitable spot.
yeah. And I mean, that isn't like unreasonable calling ranges for your opponent. Like, they're probably tighter than that, you know?
Yeah.
So, that would change what you raise fold quite a bit on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
For early position spots, it doesn't change much just because most people play those spots well, and it's like there's so many players. It's only a few percentage here, a few percentage there.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you shove UTG, guys are only supposed to call like sevens and ace jack. Like, if they fold one hand like sevens or ace jack, it's not a big deal. But there could be huge differences when you shove in late position.
Mm-hmm.
So EP, everything stays like pretty normal, but in LP it changes a lot based on your opponents, and this adds like the other wrinkle to what you can shove and all that.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so throwing out all the complexity at you today.
Be awesome.
It's good that you were ready and did all the push fold work, 'cause if you didn't, you'd be pretty lost.
Yes.
And should we keep going or call it a session? Do you want to do a few more reps, or you want to call it a sesh? You're the boss.
Oh, I think calling is a good idea. I got to leave for work in about 35 minutes. So,
That is definitely a good idea then.
yeah.
All right, man. We'll call that a sesh. Good times.
Yeah.
We will either dig deeper next time, or we could do a hand history review. You're the boss. You call it.
All right. Do you have any homework I need to continue working on push fold? I take it. And
Yeah, I want you to think about this like next level stuff, figuring out like what you should raise, practicing this out. Figuring out what you should raise based on what you think your opponents will actually call with, and like
okay.
the Nash. So do a bunch of spots like that, and try and break that down. Work on calling shoves more, which we didn't get to discuss.
Okay.
And I guess those are the main things. One more thing I want you to. Well, fuck you. It seems like you don't have a sample on anyone, so we can't really dig deep into the HUD. So basically, just work on this push fold and incorporate the raising into it. I think that's going to add like a pretty higher level of what's it called, complexity to it.
Okay.
And yeah, and I guess that's it. And work on calling the shoves.
Awesome.
All right, dude. I will talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good week.
See ya.
See ya.